Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to the Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening campaign. This is our first episode in our new long-running campaign. All of our players around us have done separate one-on-ones that are part of the Chronicles of Aeodrun Origins campaign, so many names. You can go check those out in the YouTube description that will be posted in the chat. Anyway, my name's Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I shall be your game master for tonight. And speaking of our players, we're going to go through the list of players now. You can all introduce yourselves, your pronouns, and let us know which characters you're playing. I'm going to start with Sean.
Hello. So I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Karnan Udric. Also he, him. Do you want a little bit of a character description or not at this point?
Yeah, go on then.
So Karnan is a orc, half-orc rather, dressed in quite shabby, like definitely multiple like patches and like kind of purposed clothing, long hair but slightly balding, and his skin is kind of grayish, like an unnaturally like kind of dimmed grey. I think that's probably a good point.
Would you like to nominate the next person?
Ippy Dippy, my spaceshipy, I choose Evie.
No! Okay, here we are. Hello, my name is Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Betrayal, or Perry, who uses she, they pronouns. Perry is currently a dark elf barbarian. I've got some skeptical faces. I don't know what you're skeptical about. This is the truth stone in here. And should I give a description as well?
If you want to, I'd also like to say that the meme, we should have that meme pop up that says for people who know Perry and for people who really know Perry from the origins. Carry on. This description.
Perry is, as I said, a dark elf with short white hair kind of flipped to one side. Seems to be kind of gravity defying in many ways, with kind of grey ashy toned skin with a purple undertone, standing about 5'4", 5'3", with defined muscles but relatively small in stature. And the most notable thing is their piercing golden eyes that really do just kind of shine out from her skull. And that's where I'll leave that for the moment.
Who would you like to nominate next?
Talia.
Known as Perry's best friend.
BFFs.
Absolutely. Totally. Who is this hot woman and why is she mad at me?
Welcome to my life.
Welcome to my life. Hello, my name is Talia, she, her pronouns, and I am playing Hira Castillo, also she, her. She is a fate-touched, like, elven heritage fate-touched. Go through that with what we are calling a fiend falling and what you in the world might call a name rhyming with beefling. She's a paladin, so you know it's a propos. Paladin, tall, strong, very muscular. Nice.
Beef.
Good ways. Charming and commanding when she wants to be, awkward in situations where she doesn't have to be. I describe her. And just doing her best. She also has a kid. The kid is a cat girl. Her name is Sunny, and she is the light of my life, both in-game and out.
Awesome. Who would you like to nominate next?
Mike, I am desperate to know.
It's honestly not that special, but
Yes, you are, Mike. Yes, you are.
I am my character. Well, hello, I'm Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Lucian Graves, or Lucy to his friends, which maybe we'll get there. Also using he, him. Lucian's a grey orc, built sort of 6 foot tall, 6 foot wide, built like a brick shit house. He wears a 2-piece suit and a classic sort of like grandfather's collar, always with a flat cap on, cigarette hanging from his lips. I don't know what else. I think that's kind of a relative vibe. Everybody knows nothing. Mike knows nothing. We all know nothing.
I feel like for context, the audience should know that the rest of us have posted a bit about our characters in the Discord already, but Mike has given us nothing. Has been an absolute mystery until this point.
No name, no character, nothing.
Just picture like trauma, and we'll go from there.
Trauma incarnate.
So everyone else is then.
Yeah. Tag you it, Nat.
All right. Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Elodie Fogg. Elodie is a human woman, quite young, sort of very early 20s, dressed in sort of faux Victoriana, Dishonored style, like smock coat, trousers, tight trousers, high boots, long sort of wavy brown hair hanging out from underneath a little headscarf, slightly pallid expression, a little green around the fingertips and around the eyes, looking a little bit furtive, I think. Tag, Tom.
Without spoiling anything, Tom.
I would never. Spoiler, my name is Tom. I use he, him pronouns. Again, none of this. It's like, I've played with all of you, you're like, oh, that's your name, right. He, him pronouns, as is, surprise, surprise, folks, it's Bram Shatteroak. Bram is also an orc. He is a green orc, unlike the others, and he's a half orc. The other half is wood elf, so he has. I keep saying he looks more like a goblin, but a tall 6'4" goblin with the pointy ears. Yes, he's also wearing a nice olive hat and a red scarf. Yeah, I think that's probably all we're going to learn about Bram at the moment. Everything's fine. How are you?
Everything is fine. We will have a poll in the chat right now, which will have all of the characters' names and who is the biggest poppet going off of their origin stories. So please vote. I have a feeling who's going to win that, but I'm not going to say until the poll comes in. Anyway.
Use prior prejudice to influence this poll.
I have all of the knowledge. Anyway, before we get into the tonight's session, we have some sponsors and supporters to thank. Our sponsor is Phoenix Dice, and our supporters are Idol Champions of the Forgotten Realms and Bearded Ladies. You can check out all of their stuff in the chat or in the description below if you are watching us on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you are watching here, please do consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like, subscribe. I said subscribe already, but you get the point, and comment as well. It helps the algorithm. It lets us know what it is you like to see and tells us what to make more of so you can see it. So please do that. On that vein as well, we also like to thank the D20 Club. They are massive on Patreon, I should say, because that's where they are on Patreon. You can join them from as little as one of your local currencies per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. No exceptions. And they've made us a fan Discord and a wiki page, which you can find in the chat or in the description below. I think that's it, unless anybody else has anything they'd like to share, say, or forever hold their peace. No?
Let's do it.
Let's do
Adventure!
it. So, let's go to the credits. our adventure begins in the town of Merkstead, which is where all of our players have been coming to, some of us coming to over the origin stories. It's been a bit of a time for the characters. We've learned a little bit about what's brought them here, their different backstories, different puppetry, all of that sort of stuff. And some of the characters have been here for a certain amount of time, a long time, 6 months, maybe a year. Others have just arrived within the past 24 hours. For those of you who arrived recently, you were taken by your various guides to the Solomon Mercenary Company, which is the sort of mercenary group that operates out of Merkstead. Here, this place is led by a gentleman named Solomon, who is a dwarven man, elderly man, probably 250 plus as far as he's let on. And wow, my brain just went completely blank there for a second. You'll find when you enter in that there isn't much going on in the building itself. There's a woman standing behind the counter with a child on a chair. The child is probably no taller than 3.5 foot tall, has cat-like ears, and is playing with what looks like some crayons and some paper, just drawing on the counter. The woman stood next to the child is a dwarven woman with blonde hair, short blonde hair, quite slim for a dwarf. This is, think more of a halfling than a dwarf. This is Tally, and he said Talia then. This is Tally. She is known as the quartermaster of the mercenary company, and she is the daughter of Solomon. So for those of you who have just arrived, which is Lucian and Elodie, that is who you see. You've not met this person before. She looks at you both and she's, oh, hello. It's a pleasure to see you. Oh. And she comes out from behind the counter. Elodie, with you, as you know, traveling with you, is a dwarven girl, or a dwarven woman, should I say. Early, not much difference in age to yourself, probably just hitting 20 years old in human years. This is Lilla, who is Tali's daughter. She helped save you in the town of Abercathis from the people that were trying to catch you. Yes, spoilers, but you know, just spoiling everything.
I'm from a local town, local to here. I think you'll find I'm a local.
Local town, Penny.
Is what
from,
you're telling
from around these parts.
Is what you're telling everyone else. But yes, Lilla walks over to her mum and says hello and introduces you. Mum, this is Elodie. Picked her up on the way, looking for some work. Do you know if Greta's around anywhere? And Tally goes, oh no, Greta's off on a job at the minute. If you're looking for herbs and herbalists and all that sort of stuff, you're gonna have to wait for a few days, I'm afraid, dear.
We'll just sort of looked panicked at Lilla. A few days.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought she might be here, but well, obviously she's out on some sort of a mission or quest or something at the minute. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Mum, you know some basic stuff, don't you? Yeah, I do. I can help patch. What's the problem? What can I do for you? Is there some like a cut or something I can patch up?
I'm just gonna be clocking. Okay, so in this room as well is also Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian's standing just behind you at the minute, waiting patiently.
I think Elodie has a glove on her left hand as well, and I think she's sort of been nervously sort of pressing her hands together, and will sort of glance across at Lucian and kind of give you an awkward smile, and then to Tali. Oh, maybe something we can discuss in private.
Of course, yes. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's definitely something we can discuss later. Don't worry if it's personal and all that. Yep. Like I said, I've got basic herbalist skills, so stuff that Greta's taught me in the past anyway. So, but yeah, come back and see me maybe tonight after dinner. Then we can have a look. Yeah.
Certainly. Lila, where am I to be staying?
Mum, is it all right if stay here? Yes, sure. No, that's fine. I can get you a room sorted out. We've got a couple of rooms spare at the moment. Are you looking to work? Are you?
Yes, please.
Yeah?
That's incredibly kind of you. I will work. I can do what I can to help around the house. I can anything you need.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll get some contracts and stuff sorted out for you to sign and all that, and payment, room and board and all that's taken out of the gold that you earn from the missions that you go on and stuff. So that's all perfectly fine. I can get that sorted out. Lila, if you just want to take her up to your room for the minute while I get that sorted, just a couple of other people that I need to see to, and I'll see you in a little bit. And Lila's like, yeah, okay. Do you want to come with me then, Elodie?
Yes, thank you. Awkward smile at and nod at Lucian, and has Sunny, I'm assuming Sunny, unless there's another cat girl around, like any response or notice at all, or is she just like in the colouring?
She was into the colouring a little bit, and then she happened to look up at you. And just as you go to walk away, she goes, "You've got really pretty eyes," and then goes back to colouring in.
Oh, thank you. I didn't mention before, actually. Thank you, Josh, for pointing that out. Elodie has shining golden eyes as well, but she's kind of mostly a little bit hunched and trying not to let them hit the light. What is the cat girl drawing?
You can see that she's drawing a picture of two people. One of them is they're quite stick figure-ish. One of them is clearly her, and she's holding the hand of a much taller person with horns and slightly purplish skin. And then there's a little sunshine with a little bit of a smile in it, and then there seems to be a tree in the background with some strange stick figure sticking out from behind it with like rather angry eyes.
Oh, what a lovely drawing.
Thanks.
What's that in the background?
I don't talk about that. That's a bad thing. That is. But my mum protects me from the bad thing, which is why my mum's at the front of the picture.
Well, that's good. It's okay to acknowledge that the bad things exist, though.
I know. It's just yeah. And she could
Sorry,
just go back to
that
Gore.
was strange of me. My name's Elodie. Nice to meet you.
Sunny.
Good.
My name's Sunny.
Hi.
My mum says it's because I'm a ray of sunshine.
I'm sure you are.
I am. Well, no, I think I am. Would you like a cookie?
I would love a cookie. It's been a long journey here.
Yeah, these are some special cookies that I cooked up with Auntie Tally earlier. These are jelly bean cookies, and hands you some cookies, and there's jelly beans in the cookies.
Is it an actual cookie?
It's an actual cookie, and it's
Okay.
Instead of raisins, it's got jelly beans in. Apparently the jelly beans were given to somebody, given to the cook by one of the other mercenaries. Scary lady when you see her, but don't tell her that that's where they came from, please.
So, you think it's safe and wise to eat jelly beans given to you by a scary lady?
Yeah, I mean, my mummy's a scary lady.
Okay, well, I will trust you. But if I suddenly start growing green ears or a big yellow nose, then this is on you.
And then you watch as she hands you the food, gets another bit of paper out, and then she starts drawing you, but with a yellow nose and big green ears. Starts drawing away.
You know what? That's pretty darn good.
Thanks. And she carries on drawing.
How is the cookie?
Cookie tastes very nice. Jelly beans a bit of an odd thing in a cookie, but it's one of those really sort of chewy jelly beans. So when you get to it and bite into it, you get that sort of instant rush of sugar, and then and it's quite chewy.
Yeah, I think she'll follow Leela upstairs, but she's probably like picking the bits out of her teeth.
Yeah, definitely get stuck to the roof of your mouth. And you find as you've walked into the into the mercenary company. The reception desk is basically right in front of you. The stairs is just to the right of you, and then just to the right of the stairs there's a doorway that leads into an office. And as you go to walk up the stairs, you can see the door to the office is open ajar, and sitting at the table at the desk right at the far end there is an elderly dwarven man who seems to be scribbling down on some parchment or something. He looks up, clocks you, and just gives you a wave with a nice smile, and then just goes back to what he was doing.
I think Elodie's first instinct is to sort of be curious and peering, and then as soon as he looks up, kind of go whoop, and try and hide, but then clock that he's waving and just be like,
And Lilla
give a little wave back.
Lilla waves in as well and goes, "All right, Granddad," and then disappears upstairs, taking you with her. It's my granddad, really old, really cool.
Cool. I look forward to meeting him more. Is he in charge of the company?
Yep, he's in charge of everything. Old adventurer he is, yeah. Really good at what he used to do. So any advice or anything you need on getting started, he's the best person for you to talk to. Sorts out all the pay and everything. All, so it's just all, what's the word? Kushti, I believe is the word that they use down south. So yeah, it's like that. So
I think while Lilla's talking, there's something that she probably would have got used to as we were traveling together, is actually during that time, Elodie looked a little bit spaced out, and then just kind of snaps out of it. Yeah.
You do get a warm sensation flow through your body as you enter into Lilla's room, and Lilla proceeds to take out all of her weapons and put them on the table. A lot more weapons than you thought she had on her. It's the case of, she's got the lightning short sword that she had. Then she pulls out 2 daggers from each boot, and then she pulls some daggers out from darts out from her hair, and then she pulls some bits out from under her arms, and there's just stuff everywhere. It's just all over her desk. And then, take a seat. I'm just going to go have a quick wash. All right.
Sure.
Right, and she disappears and goes to have a wash. As you two have gone upstairs, Tally comes over to you, Lucian. It's like, a newbie, another new recruit. That's good. Mercenary company's getting a bit thin on members. Can I take your name?
I pull that card that I was given, and just go. Solomon gave me this card. Just pass it up.
Oh, okay. So you're Lucian, yes? And
Aye.
At that, you hear the chair in the office pull backwards, and then you hear 3 footsteps coming towards the door, and then stepping out is Solomon with his walking stick. That's his 3rd leg, and walks over to you. Lucian, my friend. It's good to see you. I trust that your travels down here was good.
No, crazy eventful. It was pretty quiet.
No trouble on the road or anything?
No, I've got some questions for you, but they can happen another time. Let's just figure out what's going on here.
Right.
Out of interest, just before we get too ahead, how much of that conversation that was happening sort of just in front of me in the line did I pick up on?
It wasn't particularly, other than probably the bit about the needing a herbalist and maybe doing it later. Everything else was quite loud, so you would have heard all of it, bar probably that bit. Tally, could you provide Lucian with the room, please? I trust that you'll be staying and taking part in the mercenary company. Did your friends come with you?
And he sort of looks around immediately, realizes that I've got no idea where Celia's gone. I imagine she disappeared as soon as we entered the room. And I don't know what Crag's up to.
Crag went straight down to the docks to see if he could find some dock work.
Right, okay.
And like you said, Celia's sort of just disappeared into thin air.
I did. They can advocate for themselves.
That's okay, right? Yes, I'll get some paperwork sorted out for you, and you can sign up for one of the jobs on the board later on. And hopefully, I hear that there's another new member, so maybe we can get a little bit of a team formed instead of you going out on your own. That sounds good. In fact, and he pulls out a stopwatch. I should have a couple of the newer recruits and some of the older recruits returning soon. They've been on a job for a few days, and puts his pocket watch back in his pocket. We should see them in a little bit, but of course, take a room, and I'll see you tonight for dinner.
As a friendly heads up, I'm hoping to ask about information about the Reavers. Reavers? Don't know how you pronounce it.
The
Well,
Reavers, yes.
Whatever you could, put together, that'd be really helpful.
Yes.
No reason I'm ready to talk about yet.
We're going to have, I think everybody's going to be here by tonight, so if you're okay to hang on till then, I think they're a particular topic that everybody might need to hear about, so is that okay?
You're a boss.
Okay, fantastic. And you are led by Tally upstairs into one of the rooms. As that happens, the door to the building, there we go, I'm just going to say building because Mercenary Company went out of my head for a second then. The door to the building opens, and stepping through the door is a fate-touched beefling. That's how we're referring to you now. And as soon as you walk through the door, you hear, Hira, as soon as you walk through the door, you hear a stool smash onto the floor rather loudly, and you just feel this large weight around your waist and your leg as Sunny is ran around and just dived at you, and it's going, "Mummy!" Giving you a big hug. I just knocked my head. Giving you a big hug.
Hey, kiddo. I'm just going to pick her up and just pop her on my hip.
Yay!
Have you been good for Tally?
Yes, have a jelly bean. Shoves a jelly bean in your mouth.
I think you need some fruit. How many of these have you been eating?
There's a bunch in the cookies, so I've not had too many. I've drawn you a picture.
One free hand, I am digging into my pack to go and find an apple.
Look at this picture I drew you, and it's the picture of Elodie. That's a new friend I made.
New friend?
Yeah.
Nice, when did you meet them?
About 5 minutes ago. Their name's Edalie.
Edalie. Okay.
Eddie, one of those.
Their name is Eddie, their new friend. Was Tally here when you met them?
Yes, Tally's just taking big man upstairs.
Okay, so Eddie, the new friend, a big man, and you are hyped up on sugar.
Yes. No, don't tell. No, shh. No.
Come on, kiddo. Okay. You been good though?
Yes, I've been good. Yeah. I am a bit tired though. Can I go to bed?
Let's just hike up a little. Let's get you to bed. I need to get off this campus, and anyway, it is stinky.
Yeah, you do smell a bit.
That's because I have been doing work, sweetheart.
Okay. Can you put me down? I want to go upstairs. I want to go to the room, please.
Run.
And
Run.
She runs. You gonna chase me?
3,
Oh.
2,
Oh.
1.
Disappears up the stairs.
No, just this, big stomping sounds of this tall, muscular tiefling. Just,
For those of you who are upstairs already, you watch or hear Sunny go run past. She skids to a stop, almost cartoon style, looks into Lila's room, goes, "Hi, Edie," and then carries on running towards one of the back rooms.
Elodie.
And then disappears behind the door. And Hero, you can walk up there as well. All of you can sort of lock eyes with each other just as you're being guided into a room. Lucian, you watch as Hero comes up to the top of the stairs and sort of can nod at each other as you go into your various rooms.
Hello. Eddie?
Elodie.
Elodie, okay. Kid gave me the name.
Is she
Yes.
yours?
Yes, she's mine.
She's very sweet.
She is something. I'll tell you that.
Are you one of the other mercenaries here?
Yes, I have been here for a bit now. They're good people. They'll take care of you.
Thank you. That's good to know.
On that note, though, if you do anything to hurt my kid, I will kill you.
Noted.
Good to be friends.
I didn't catch your name.
Oh, Hira. Hira Castillo.
Nice to meet you, Hira.
You too. Sonny, if you're not in your pajamas in 5, I will go and make you.
There's no answer. The door had slammed shut, but there's no answer from Sunny. And as Tally shuts the door from letting Lucian, as Tally opens the door to let Lucian into his room, she turns to you and goes, Hira, job went well?
Yes.
Good. A payment came through for it, so come and see me just before dinner and I'll give you the payment for it. Father just needs to do all the usual businessy stuff with it, and then you'll pay, and then you'll get your pay. Okay.
Sure, no worries. You
Okay.
good? Sunny's been good for you today?
Sunny's always good for me. You know she's no problem for me. She's a delight. I will apologise now. The jelly bean cookie idea was probably not the smartest. I did try to give her some fruit, but she kind of didn't take to it very well. So I might hide the cookies for the few days so she can have some fruit.
She discovered sugar and has gone crazy.
Yep, that's children for you. Just wait until they get a little bit older. And she sort of gestures towards the room that Elodie's currently stood in, and you can see Lilla, who you've not actually met before. You can see a red-haired dwarf stood near Elodie, sort of taking her kit off, and I mean she's getting stark bollock naked right in front of all of you, door wide open. She doesn't care.
Oh,
Okay. Do you want some privacy?
No, I'm fine. Baths, and I'm just gonna go get a bath. And she just walks out into the hallway, fully naked, looks at Lucian, go, all right, and then just carries on walking down. You can see that her body's covered in scars all over, and she just opens the door and shuts it again.
Lucian barely reacts. He just sort of just goes, like, one eyebrow like raises to Hira and Elodie, and then he just turns and walks into the room.
As you walk into the room, you find that the room is not empty. There is another person in this room, as it is bunk bedded, and on one of the beds currently is Sean. Sean, I know when your origin story had finished, you had was just entering into the town. It's been 24 hours since then, so you've sort of established yourself and sort of got recruited to come to the mercenary company. So Solomon sort of said, I'll put you up for a night if you do a few jobs for me. So, because you look like a capable person is the word I'm looking for. And you see this large grey orc walk in.
You're right.
I should have knocked. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm used to barracks, so bunking up's not a problem.
Aye, yeah. Lucian. Pleasure.
Aeodric. Canon Aeodric.
Sorry, I'm not a huge chatter, so ask your questions and I'll either answer them or I just won't.
Honestly, that's fine. I've been out of the world for a time, so I'm used to not really talking to people.
Perfect, silence says. And he sort of just like turns and starts like tidily making the bed very like regimentedly, placing what very few items he's got in a sort of hapsack down on one side. Are you top or bottom?
No preference.
Down. Everybody down. Out the gutter.
Horny cards at the ready.
Ship. And as the conversations continue with Hero, you are able to go to your room, and as you open the door, you can see Sunny has just completely passed out on the bed, fully clothed, and is snoring. Yeah, pretty much. As Evie just said, just walked in and went poof on the bed and is snoring away. Holding on to two different scrumbles of paper. The first is the picture of Elodie, or Edie as she's calling her, and the other is the picture of you and Sunny. You do notice that the figure in the background of the picture.
It's come up. Kid still has nightmares, but of course.
The picture does have a bit of a resemblance. You do get a sense of resemblance to from that drawing. Looks like somebody you know.
Yeah.
Very, I'm not going to say intimately because that insinuates a romantic relationship. A sibling, maybe.
Very well. I'm going to very gently get Sunny into some pajamas so she's more comfy, and then make a mental note to maybe be slightly nicer to her. Edie, because, you know, I trust my kid, and if my kid likes her, I don't want to be awful. Yeah.
There's a few people that Sunny is a bit wary around. The next person that we meet is one of them, but yeah, Elodie is probably the first person that Sunny has warmed up to that's come into the mercenary company for a long time.
Yeah. It's good to have other people that aren't just me and Tally.
Speaking of the next person, you enter into the town, Perry, having recently completed a job. The job was very basic. It was just gather some sort of herbs or something. Some elf root, and some dragon thorn for the local herbalist while Greta is out of town. Greta is the head of the herbalist shop and is sort of like the go-to person for any ailments or anything that require that sort of treatment. But with her being gone, she's been gone for probably about a week or so now. The stocks have been running low, and the current person in charge had requested for one of the mercenary groups to go out, and you were chosen. Bit of a boring job for you, but money is money.
Unfortunately.
But yes, you enter into the town. The guild hall itself is just up a slope, just as you come through the entrance, so you can go off, get up to the mercenary company easily enough, if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, sure. I imagine I've already dropped off the herbs.
Yeah, the herbs. Drop the herbs off pretty quick. The herbalist went with you, so
Okay.
they've got a bit of a shell shock look on their faces, like thanks for all your help.
No worries. You okay to keep up?
I mean, you are very, very fast on your feet, and you really didn't have to scare those wolves away like you did.
There's only one way to treat wolves, babes. They only respond if they know that you are the alpha.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll send the payment to the mercenary company. Thank you. Bye. And she runs off. She's like another dwarf, probably more halfling looking. Fun fact, there aren't actually halflings in this world. They're all dwarves, but they're just of different ancestries, so different statures. But she runs off and disappears into the town. You walk up into the mercenary company, and Tally is just coming down the stairs, having seen the other residents in. Perry, it's good to see you. I take it everything went well?
Yeah, everything went great. It was just, if I have to do these missions, can you at least make them, like, a little bit interesting?
I'm sure. I mean, you've been here long enough now. I'm sure we can start giving you some of the more advanced missions. If you are willing to form a party, we could give you more of the actual, hunting missions.
That depends. Are any of these other mercenaries, like, interesting?
We've had a couple of new recruits join us today. Father said there's another one coming on a ship in a couple of hours, so you can. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of people for you to team up with.
Well, that's something. I don't particularly fancy teaming up with vanity muscles. Something I will mention at this point, because I forgot to give a description of clothes and vibe, is Perry's wearing like loose, baggy trousers with kind of cloth strapped around the top, bare arms, bare-backed, and is carrying a very large scythe.
Obscenely large scythe, something that does not sit well with Hera.
Vanity muscles, for clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you like your key to your room?
I mean, yeah, I still don't understand why you don't let me take it with me. I can be trusted with keeping my belongings, something that, not everyone can be said to be trustworthy with. Looks at Solomon's office.
Yeah. Solomon, you've not heard Solomon in the office, but the door is ajar a little bit, so he's probably back in there. Don't actually know, but Tally just sort of laughs. Well, we sort of take all of the keys off of everyone just in case. We can't really. It's not really something we want to be, paying out for. I know you're pretty good with it, but there are other people who are very forgetful with their keys. So,
I'm just saying that I shouldn't pay for other people's incompetence.
I mean, I'm always here, so if you need your key, I can always just pop it to you. And when you come back in, if I'm not here, you can just help yourself to it. You've been here long enough.
Okay, I'm done with this conversation now. Can I have my key, please?
Yes, okay. Yep. And she takes the key off the hook, walks around the desk, takes the key off the hook, hands it over to you. Still
Thanks,
nobody to
Aegis,
share
yeah.
with. You still got the room to yourself.
Good. I'm just going to pop in on old Solly Boy, okay? And then I'll go right up.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, door's open.
Kicks it open. Solomon, my guy!
Oh, Perry, it's good to see you. Everything
I can
okay?
see it on your face. You missed me.
I did. You didn't scare the recent client too much, did you?
No, but really, how scared they are is a mark on their own character. I'm a delight.
Yes, that is a phrase that we do need to get etched into your key. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you'd heard anything about the journals yet. It's been a little while, and you said it wouldn't take too long.
Yes, I know. I apologise. It's a lot. Some of the informants have taken a little while to get back to me. There is a potential that one has been located. It seems that they may have been separated, so different locations, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware. But it looks like one might be in one of the Reaver camps up the mountains.
Okay, and how soon can we get there?
I mean, it's pretty heavily fortified, and we don't really want to mess with the Reavers. I'm going to be having this conversation with everybody tonight. There's one more person who needs to join us. They're getting off a ship in a couple of hours. I was actually going to ask if whoever was here, if they would go down and meet them and show them back here.
I can do that.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. Well, Hira's back, and Kanan is here as well. We've had some new people, Lucian and Elodie, and Lilla as well. They're all here. So if you wouldn't mind gathering everybody together and heading down to the docks, our new member should be here within the next 2 hours.
Oh, brilliant. It's going to be a real party.
I wouldn't. Yes, it will be a party, but I'm probably thinking of it in a different way to yourself.
Why not both?
Oh, I'm too old for that, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, as long as you keep the noise down, it's fine.
Oh, I worked with the herbalist. We've got a new flavour of jelly bean. You want to try?
I can't resist a jelly bean. Go on then. And he puts his hand in, and then, ooh, takes a bite of it. Please tell me
It's
what
moss
flavour it is.
flavour.
Oh, yes, it's really got that moss taste to it.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? It's got spice. I didn't expect that from moss. It just kind of sits there and is all damp. But when it gets in your mouth, oh,
It really gets stuck in your teeth. How did you get the texture?
Joy. Yeah. So, like,
Oh.
the herbalist may have been a bit of a whim, but they knew their stuff around jelly beans.
Yes. That's definitely an acquired taste. Thank you very much. Yes, and he's like trying to pick stuff out of his teeth. Yes, I mean, if you would like to go grab the others and go down to the docks, that would be more than. And he just opens a drawer, pulls a mirror out, and starts fiddling with his teeth, and then stops talking to you.
I'll go take the rounds. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool, I'll go to the first room.
Okay, so the first room that you bump into as you head up the stairs is Lilla's room, which currently just has Elodie inside of it. Elodie, what would you be doing when Perry comes up to the room?
Yeah, so I think with Lilla off taking a bath, Elodie is probably sat there awkwardly on the bed for a couple of minutes, just kind of looking around, and then will have sort of settled into the idea of, oh no, okay, this is maybe supposed to be her room as well. So we'll be sort of trying to figure out, like, she's not been told like where you can put your stuff, or this is the drawers for clothes, or anything like that. So just sort of gingerly like peeking, being like, trying not to be intrusive, but it's like opening a drawer. And it's probably doing that just as Perry comes in, and then sort of like is like "Ah!" and panics and shuts the door and kind of just turns around in a like, yes,
Are you one of the newbies?
yes, Elodie, pleased to meet you.
Hello, dear Elodie. That's a nice name.
Thank you.
I'm Peripateo. You can call me Perry if there's too many syllables in it for you. Either's fine.
Which do you prefer?
Peripateo, but, you know, I'm not fussy.
Nice to meet you, Peripatea.
As long as you're talking about me. Doesn't matter.
Is that important?
Anyway. Solomon's asked me to gather everyone around to go and greet another of you lucky newbies at the dock.
All right. I was just unpacking, but I suppose I don't actually have much to unpack, so I can be ready whenever.
Sure, you want to come with me to go and get the other ones from the rooms? I'm just kind of doing the rounds at the moment.
Okay. We'll
Nice
put
eyes,
us
by
back
the
up.
way.
Thank you. You too.
Cool. Thanks.
Elodie, you get a feeling of familiarity sort of wash over you for a brief instance, and then confusion, and then it dissipates.
I think from Perry's perspective, like, you go to walk out the room to go to the next room, and you probably just hear behind you, like, there's just a pause, like Elodie has not quite followed you yet, and there's a pause, and you just very quietly hear a shh, and then she carries on following you.
Okay.
You go to the next room. The door's shut, but you know, Perry, that this is where Karnan is staying. He just come into the mercenary company yesterday, the day that you went out to get the herbs and stuff. So you know he's in there.
I kick down the door.
You kick down the door.
I kick down the door.
The door. I'm not going to make you roll for it because doors are BBEGs. The door just flies off of its hinges as if it's been kicked down before and just lands on the floor. And you can see both Lucian and Karnan in there. What would you both be doing as the door is kicked in?
I feel like Lucian's telling Karnan that just so you know, if a small female elf appears in the room with all the doors locked, it's kind of her thing to break in. Don't panic. She'll only steal like some of this stuff. Do you react to the door blowing off? Because Lucian isn't. He's just going to carry on talking to you.
I think that probably would, yeah. So Carmen's probably, I don't know, probably just like idly like carving something. But when the door kind of gets kicked in, like accidentally, like hews the head off of whatever it is that he was just whittling. Bloody hell. Right, okay. So open door policy then.
Karnak, how's it going? We've got a thing to do, and other newbie, you need to come with me as well.
Oh, all right. Straight into it then, yeah?
Yeah. Hi, new guy, Peripatea or Perry, either's fine.
Lucian, nice to meet you.
Cool, nice to meet you.
Elodie, hello.
Oh. Hello.
Oh, we met her naked friend.
She's not always naked. In fact, that was the first time since we met. Actually, never mind.
You hear a whistle as the door opens. Lilla walks back down, fully naked but covered in soap in places, and then disappears into the room and shuts the door.
I feel like she also needs to learn how to take a bath because you need to get rid of the soap to get rid of the dirt. Anyway.
Josh, has Carnan met Lilla yet? She just arrived back, right?
She's just come back, so you've not met her yet.
I don't know who she is.
You've had a brief interaction with Tally, but it was just a greeting, and then upstairs she's been sort of running around doing jobs. So you've not had a chance to actually stop and talk to her yet.
Right. Oh, who was that? The naked one.
Oh, that's Lilla. She's Solomon's granddaughter.
No, common name then.
Common?
Yeah, a friend of mine had a daughter called Lilla, but she'd be like early teens.
Okay, hustle up, guys. We've got one more person to go and get. My favorite person in the entire building. Let's go.
Being sarcastic about that.
No, never. I don't know how to be sarcastic.
Okay.
Don't think about it too hard.
Cool. Hustle up to Hera's room.
You hustle up to Hera's room, and
The door opens before you start knocking.
Yeah, I think with the amount of people that are walking towards your room, and with the fact that your room is right next to the bathroom, Lilla sort of throwing the door open caused you've heard everything going on, so you've opened the door. Sunny is in pajamas and in bed snoozing away. Me, 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 me.
She's asleep quietly.
Now, am I
Okay,
right?
back.
Hey, so Solomon's asked us all to go and meet someone at the docks.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to find someone to sit on your child.
I'll go get Tally.
Yeah, that's probably wise. Even though they're sleeping, you never know what they're going to go and do.
Apparently get into your jelly beans.
She got into my jelly beans.
She says that Tally gave you gave them to Tally and then they made cookies.
They were very delicious. Although, very high sugar content, which is probably why she's,
Perry's eyes flood with black for just a second before being blinked away. Well, there better be more cookies for me to try, at least.
There were a pile of them.
Excellent. We'll get them when we go. On the way out, eat and talk. Best way to eat.
Wonderful. Get a stretch back in there. Just buckling back in the armor. I think often Hera is very covered up. Like, very covered. Like, long kind of like cargo trousers or things. Shirt. Gambeson that had started being taken off and now being put back on again.
As we wait for Hera to get dressed, I am just going to kind of elbow Elodie and just say, we're going to be best friends. It's not happened yet, but soon.
Oh, okay. If you like.
Yeah, I can tell.
Sort of thing. Okay, let's go. I take my copy of my key that I have and just kind of stick it under my shirt.
What you get for being here for a very long time. You actually get access to a key. It's nothing to do with the fact that Perry may have lost a key previously, but everyone is too afraid to say.
They didn't give me a key. I don't know what to tell you.
As you all make your way down the stairs, you can see Solomon is stood at the right next to the desk, and as you all sort of fill into the space, good. Thank you, Perry, for getting everybody. Right, it's a bit of a mundane job, but we've got a new /old recruit coming into the docks on the next ship. I'd like for you all to go and meet them, please, if that's okay. I'd like for you all to sort of get acquainted and come back here. I have some stuff that I need to discuss with all of you once you're all back, please.
Anything special about them that warrants the closer greeting?
They were a mercenary here before. They disappeared and have recently made contact again. It seems that there may be some memory issues, so I would just like, they're an old friend of the family, so I'd like to make sure that they are escorted back here carefully. And also, if there are any reavers in the town, I have a feeling that they might start a fight, and that's not something that we can really afford at the moment, but I will go into that when you come back. If you do happen to see any of the reavers in the town, please do not engage them.
Should we bring weapons just in case? Is
Just
this
in
a
case,
dangerous
yes.
place?
Yes, just in case, please.
Oh, okay.
No,
Elodie's
get
going to
the
run
spear.
back upstairs and start rummaging through her pack.
Solomon, can you get Tally to go and just keep an eye on Sunny while I'm away?
Yeah, I can do that. Tally runs out from behind
Oh.
the desk.
Hey.
Sorry. I was ducked down. I was just sweeping up some of the crumbs from earlier. There's some cookies on the counter if anybody wants them. They're jelly. Looks to Perry. Bean cookies. I'm
I've
gonna
heard
go see.
I claim 90% of them.
Okay, well they're there. I'm gonna go. And runs upstairs. And you hear upstairs, God's sake, let her put some bloody clothes on.
It's going to turn to others. That is the best woman on this part of the isle you'll ever meet.
She is definitely something else. I was blessed with her as a daughter. And Lilla as a granddaughter. It must be said.
Well, that's all very sweet. I'm glad that you have your family. Like, kudos, I guess. I love that for you.
Thank you. I'm detecting sarcasm, but anyway, Cookie?
Elodie's going to stagger downstairs, sort of like hurriedly attaching a holster to her leg and popping a gun in it and trying to look like this is something she does all the time.
Looks proper professional. Solomon does give you a bit of a side glance. Okay. And then eats a cookie. Right, I'm going to go into my office. Just somebody knock on the door once you've got our other friend, and he walks inside. So, would everybody like to go down to the docks area and retrieve the final member?
Mhm.
Awesome. So,
Retrieve the final member.
the final member. So,
I'm good at that.
final member. Anyway, you all leave the mercenary company and you begin walking through the town itself. The town is quite large. It has a total number of about 500 people that live here, which for medieval sort of fantasy settings is a lot of people for a town. The streets are lined with various different stalls. There are a number of different shops around. The path to the dock area is well signed, and you can walk down towards it as a ship begins to pull in. We're going to switch the view from there for the minute, and we're going to go over to the ship itself. Standing on the ship, there is a captain wearing the typical long red captain's coat with the big hat with the big sort of fluffy feather thing is what I mean. Sorry.
The mane.
The mane.
They skinned a lion. It's terrifying.
Long black hair, small goatee, emerald green eyes. Looks down and goes, right, Bram, we're docking in now.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you, Captain.
That's all right. Thank you for the help with the drowners earlier. The other day, the little bastards keep trying to get on the ship.
No, happy to help. No problem.
It's always good having somebody to travel the shallows.
gets a moment of like far away, like no, the shallows are quite dangerous. But I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens to you on this journey, then we've surely been lucky.
Definitely right. I'll catch you in the pub later, maybe?
Yeah, no, probably. I think Mr. Solomon wants a word with me. But yes, no. Which pub?
You bastard.
I'm already causing trouble and I've only been here for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Where's my notes gone? Oh, they're over here. 1 second.
What's the name of the blacksmith?
No, we were forbidden to ask that on stream.
Damn you! The reason why they were forbidden to ask it is because at the point of recording this, I hadn't gone through the session, the origins, and I'd named it in one of them, and I didn't note it down because I'm silly.
To be fair, Josh has about 18 hours worth of material.
There's a lot at this point. I mean, I'm quite partial to the Rusty Pirate. If you want to go there, I've heard that the Shady Gull is a bit. You don't really want to go there.
Oh, right.
Taste
Okay.
piss water, I think they call it.
Oh no, don't want that. No, okay, Rusty Pirate. I'll see the this evening then.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Right. And as you step off of the ship, for everybody else, just a little bit of context. All of the origin stories ended with everybody entering into the town of Merkstead. The reason why Bram is entering the town of Merkstead in the first episode is because he did get here. He then proceeded to get stabbed in the chest and pushed off a cliff. So ended up no longer in the town.
And it's also worth pointing that as the camera pans up Bram, his left eye is pale grey and his right eye is pale black. So something's happened to our orcish boy. Something.
Wait, sorry. One is pale grey and one is pale
black. So one's like a lighter black. You know, that colour that we all
I was
see.
just going to say pale black. Is that not
pale
grey?
Black. Yeah. Well, one's light grey and one's dark grey.
Sure.
And one's a lighter shade of pale. You know?
How many shades of grey are in your eyes?
50,
well, 51. I have to be complacent. The secret 51 flavour.
As you step off of the ship, Bram, you can see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. Josh can count. You can see 5 pretty well armored people, not Reavers, stood at the docks, watching you as you walk down. The rest of you.
Can I make the
four
first...
pretty well armored people and one woman.
Yeah.
Small woman.
There's just a lady.
Oh, I've got no weapons at all. I've got nothing.
No, but you
And
are
they're
well armed.
No.
Got your guns.
Josh, can I make the first roll of the game and do an insight roll on armed people meeting me off a ship?
You can indeed, yeah.
Thank you.
That
That's
roll.
a 16.
So with the 16, you knew that Solomon was going to send people to meet you off of the ship anyway. You weren't expecting as many as there are, and you weren't expecting them to be as well armed as what they are. The standouts are the elven woman with the fuck off massive scythe, and the fate-touched, fiend-fallen woman, Beefling.
Or one of those beeflings I've been reading about. All right. And woman struggling with ankle holster. Okay. Where have you been?
In a normal place.
Oh, like a
Give it a slip
normal
during the journey.
gunslinger. Yeah. Just as it gets, just down your leg.
Just probably put it back up.
For the 16, I think you do say, I've got a little flag and it's got the Merchant's Guild symbol on it. So we're like, hello, this is us waiting for
From just dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I catch that. I'm like, wait. Sorry.
You've each got a different letter, but you're all standing in different places. You're like, oh no, wait.
What merch? MERCA. What is it? Anyway, who walks out? Oh, hello. Are you here from Mr. Solomon?
Yes.
Oh, well, you're the people I'm looking for then. Bram Sharrock. Like awkwardly, like puts up a big hand, not sure who's gonna offers it, and then he's like, nope. Oh, just Perry, take it.
It just says, hi, Perry. Bronze is a stupid name. We're going to give you a new one.
I mean, okay.
Scarface for now.
I'll take Scarface. I mean, I mean, it's the name my parents gave me, but no, Scarface will. Scarface
Scarface
is
is the name your parents gave you.
No, Abraham, and but the Perry wants me to be Scarface. Then
Ram is a perfectly lovely name.
Well, thank you.
Names are important. Hira.
No, nice to meet you, Hira.
Eldrick.
No,
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Melody.
Oh, no, hello. Just look at Lucian. No.
Lucian.
Oh, no, pleasure, Bram. Josh, am I alone?
You think you are?
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Oh, good. Oh, right. Yeah. No. I wasn't quite expecting so large a greeting party, but it's nice to meet you all. Do you all work with?
How
Mr.
much trouble have you got yourself into that we've got to come down here and get you?
10 deception. No trouble. Just spent some time traveling around the lands. I was hoping to catch up with an old friend of mine who supposedly ended up here. Greta Lighthoof, Sata, probably.
Bram, why don't you just rewind and try
sorry.
that one again?
Okay.
I rolled a 14.
Anybody with a passive insight over 10 knows there's something up. With a roll of a 14, he's done something at some point.
Just roll back for me, pal, and just try again.
I have been told that I was here before, but I do not remember that. I am missing some time, and when I wrote to Mr. Solomon, he said, "Oh, we're very glad to hear that you're okay. Please come. This connects to you and to Miss Lighthoof." So, and then I went back on the boat, and we almost drowned, but we didn't. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here, and I'm a bit worried, and I'm also concerned that there's so many people here. Am I under arrest? You would tell me if I was under arrest, right?
Perfectly.
We were just here to collect you, but I actually have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever died and come back to life?
I don't know. What?
I have. You're in good company.
He clutches his chest. No, maybe.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, walk and talk. You'll probably come to terms with whatever this is.
Yeah. No. Wow. Okay. That's
And congratulations of telling the truth. Let's keep that up.
Tell you what, you stick with me, Scarface, because I have similar things. We can work through it together.
Ace. Good. Okay. Just haunted and like, oh.
I can tell.
Let's go. This is a lot of conversations for a public place, and people do not need to bear their innermost secrets to people they have just met.
People don't care.
Sounds like fun. Okay.
Let's go.
I think as we're walking, Udric's probably slowly kind of going to the edge of the group away from Perry at this point.
Eric, you love him or you hate him. Mostly hate. But...
Oh.
I think Elodie is trailing behind everyone else, and probably trying to use that distance. I don't know if anyone has a super high passive, a higher passive perception.
15.
Okay.
14.
Oh no, I rolled a nat 20.
They are the wind.
She's great. She's doing fine. She's just a bit slow.
Yeah, unless anybody's actively looking out for Elodie, you don't notice that she's fallen behind just a little bit. Seems to be sort of keeping to herself a little bit more than anything. You do. Does anybody have a passive perception of 15 or higher? The two best friends that there ever was. The pair of you would hear as you're walking up, as the crew of the ship are beginning to unload cargo, you can hear that they're talking about creatures attacking the ship and how if it wasn't for that orc boy, they all would have been dragged to the depths below. And you would know that the sea around the continent of Idorune, where the tectonic plates carry on before it dips off into the deep sea, that entire area of water is known as the shallows, because it doesn't go off into the deep chasms of the world. And there are creatures in these waters known as drowners, which are almost, think of a cross between like an undead creature and like a Sahuagin type creature. Anybody who's watched the Aquaman film, the creatures that are in that, the really sort of things, so they're said to be the souls of dead sailors that have been drowned at sea, brought back to life, and they try to bring other sailors into the depths with them. And drowner attacks have increased over the past couple of years. So yes, that's what you can hear is them talking about that, and a few of them sound a bit panicked. Others are grateful that Bran was on the ship, and they're hoping that they can recruit a more permanent crew member to join who is capable of taking these things out.
And notice that Perry's also noticing this, and then just nod at her at both of us are noticing this.
Best friends.
Two best friends that there ever was. You make your way back to the mercenary company. You do hear a bit of, as you're walking, the Rusty Pirate Inn is the closest. The Rusty Pirate Tavern is the closest tavern to the docks. Just down the street towards where there's a small cliff, where the cliff is of the town. You know that for those of you that have been here, been in the town for a while, you know that the Shady Gull Inn is down that way. And that is, for every sense of the word, it is a shady inn. And especially Hira and Perry, you would both know that is where the Reavers frequent. That's sort of like their bar. And it can get to the point where even at the mercenary company, which is the other end of the town, you can hear the ruckus and commotion coming from that place. And it does seem like there is a bit of a ruckus and a commotion coming from there at the moment. So maybe there are Reavers in town. You don't quite know. But you've been asked to go back to the mercenary company. Is that what you'd like to do, or would you like to go completely off the rails?
Does it sound
I'd give the option.
Let's go to the blacksmith.
Yay!
Yeah, so does it sound like there are any kind of innocent people caught up in the ruckus?
It doesn't sound like it. It just sounds like a lot of smashing of glass, smashing of wood. Just like there's a bar brawl going on in the tavern.
Cool.
In the inn. It's an inn, not a tavern. The Rusty Pirate is the tavern.
I think if no one who's not willingly involved is being actively hurt, then just carry on escorting Bram.
You can see
Bram has stopped to glare. He's like, something. And then I
Not
think
our circus, not our monkeys.
Aww.
you can see with the Perry and Hero with your passive perception for 15, you can see there are a couple of town guards that are in the street, or in this particular street that leads down to the Shady Gull, but they seem to be keeping a distance from it, but keeping an eye on it. So it looks like the situation is kind of under control, maybe, don't know. But you all head back to the company building, and as you enter in, you get hit with the smell of hot food and warm drink, smell of coffee, smell of chocolate, smell of meat and breads and everything. As you walk in, there looks to be a feast that has been set up, almost like a buffet style thing. Tally is walking over to one of the tables and placing knives and forks down. You can see Solomon is walking around and is making sure that placemats are in the right place and all of that. Lilla is sitting at the counter and is just sort of picking her teeth with what looks to be like a toothpick or something. And you can see another figure, the cook of the guild, is bringing trays and trays of food out and is plonking them down. And as you all enter in, Solomon goes, it's good to see that you're all back. We've prepared food for everybody. If you'd like to grab some food and take a seat. There's more food here than what any of you could probably eat, unless you're an anime character.
I mean, Kanan's kind of eyeing up how much meat they've put out, kind of side-eye glances to Lucian, tries to figure out whether there's going to be enough between the two of them.
There's a rather large boar, it looks like, on the table.
So that's my plate sorted.
You have to wrestle it from Perry's
I
grip.
respect
Yeah, that sounds like enough.
You help yourselves to some food, some drink. You're able to sit down. There's just one table set out at the moment. You can see that this is like one. These are a group of tables that have been pushed together. Tablecloths been put over them to make it into one large table. You can sit down. Drinks are brought over. There are jugs on the table of water, jugs and glasses on the table for water if anybody wants them. Ale and mead, wines, and all that sort of stuff are all brought over and poured out for everybody. And then the bottles are left on the table for anybody to help themselves to afterwards. Lilla joins you at the table. I nearly got the characters mixed up then. Lilla joins you at the table while Tally goes back to the reception desk with a plate of food herself and some food. And you watch as she has a small plate with her. And every now and then you just watch as a hand raises up over the top of the counter, picks something up, comes down, and then begins eating. It looks like Sunny may have woken up from their very quick nap. Right. Please, everybody, sit down. It's good to see you all. Bram, I will have a conversation with you later, but it is good to see you alive and well.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. I'm glad to be here. Glance at Perry, glance at Solomon. Just like also has a small plate. He's really not hungry. He's very confused. So, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to traumatize you off the bat.
10 minutes in. Oh no, the puppetry.
Yes. Anyway, the reason why I've asked for all of you to come together, you are currently the only mercenaries that are in the town. A lot of the others have gone off to other locations. A lot of the other mercenaries that work out of here are more a drop in as and when they're in the area. They're not permanent fixtures, as it were. I would like to establish a more permanent fixture of mercenaries in the town. Lilla is our highest ranking member. Hira has been providing a lot of much needed cover, as has Perry, who has been here for a number of months as well.
I'm not technically a mercenary.
I know we have an agreement, but I will admit that having you around has been very beneficial to all of us. Speaking of, he walks over to you, Hira, and he hands you a coin pouch. This is your gold for your last payment, and Perry, here's yours as well. Hira, you receive 10 gold pieces, and Perry, you receive 5 gold pieces.
Daggers.
Different jobs. Right, so with this plethora of new blood, as it were, I'd like to formally invite all of you to join the Solomon Mercenary Company as regular members. We have a job board that is going to be put up, and is the carpenter going to finish that? And Tally goes, yes, the carpenter's coming tomorrow morning to finish putting it up, and then we can start putting jobs on the board. Good, right. Thank you. Yes, so we have a plethora of different jobs that are going to be available for you to do. Now that there is enough of you here, it would be nice if you would form into... you don't have to stay in the same party all the time, but if you could pair up or team up together and complete some of these jobs. Some of them can be quite dangerous, can be seen as quite dangerous and deadly jobs. I know there's a few people here at least one person here who was looking to sink their teeth into something a little more exciting. So that will definitely be available for you if that is something that you are looking for. On the flip side, if there is anything that you want to do that is a little less dangerous, like gathering herbs or anything like that, then those jobs will still be available if you like it. I'd like to increase the mercenary company's presence within the town and within the region. And I believe that all of you, from what I know and have been told about each of you, are the way forward with that. If, of course, any of you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, I'm always available to answer them. I can answer some now for you. One of the questions I know that I'm going to be asked, so I will answer it now before you do ask it, is about the Reavers. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Reavers are the local bandits, as it were. They have a bit of a chokehold on the town and the surrounding areas. So, as much as I'd like to get them out of the town, it is not possible without a considerable amount of retaliation from their leader. So if you bump into any Reavers in the town, please don't engage with them. They're probably gonna, some of them will try and goad you, as it were, but if we could try and keep things clean and not kill any of them, that would be favorable. I'd rather not have to deal with the leader.
Not kill them.
No.
Okay, I understand. No problem.
Plans made to retrieve the leader and deal with them.
I mean, that's not a job that's on the job board or anything like that at the moment. In fact, anything to do with the Reavers is there are requests that come in to have them dealt with, but we have to turn those requests away, unfortunately, because like I said, they have a bit of a chokehold on the town, and if we do anything against them, it will have repercussions for not just us in this building, but also the people in the town.
This is why I am considered freelance, just in case, because, I've got to go after them eventually.
Yes, I know you have your particular qualms with them, as other members at this table might do. Look specifically at Bram, and then before your eyes meet his Bram, he looks away. Sorry, Elodie, were you going to say something?
Not Elodie, Nat. Can I do an insight check on Solomon when he's talking about his hands being tied about the Reavers? I kind of want to see if he's lying about that, whether he might be in their pocket at all.
Yeah, make me an insight check.
Not great. 12.
He looks generally concerned about them, and not so much worried for himself, more worried for the town, is how he looks.
I trust everyone.
Mm-hmm. If there are, with a larger team, if there are opportunities for potential reconnaissance, I'm aware that going against a greater fighting force with one that has embedded itself in a community can have implications. But also, my kid is here. And I would quite like them to not be.
I mean, the bandits themselves, bandits, Reavers, whatever you want to call them themselves, they take a payment from the town, from the mayor, every month in order for them to not raid it and not pillage and raid and destroy everything and take what they want. Basically, this payment has been going on for the better part of 5-6 years, maybe longer than that, as far back as I can remember, really. But
protection money, then.
Sorry.
So they're demanding protection money. Basically,
yes, and it's not just here; it's everywhere in the kingdom, bar the city of Ostragos. The remaining nobles there won't send out any of the guards to repopulate the guards of the towns and things. So the bandits have been able to run riot and sort of take control. And the leader of the Reavers has sort of banded, pun intended, banded all of the bandits together into one force. So it's not like you're just fighting a small. It's not like you would be fighting against just a small group that is affecting one town. They're affecting the entire kingdom. They have a massive chokehold. The king, he calls himself the king of the bandits. His name is Kimdak.
Sorry.
Can I insight the cough?
Yeah, anybody can insight the cough. I generally thought Tom was having a coughing fit for a second.
Bram's angrily eating food, and then inadvertently it went down the.
There is a burning sensation in the front of your head.
Yeah.
22.
What was the name again?
Kimdak, that is spelled Kimdack.
Got 16.
Sorry?
I got 16 on the insight.
16 on the insight, yeah. Anybody else rolled insight on Brown?
7.
3.
22.
I mean, even if it's low, he choked when he heard a name. So
I mean, we were confused, so.
yeah. Even Bram doesn't really know what's going on. So
It's more like, for you, Bram, I'd say it's more you recognise the name, but it's like on the tip of your tongue as to why you recognise it. It doesn't make any sense to you, but you recognise the name, and that name strikes fear into you.
it probably also gives me a slight pain in my jaw. But yeah, okay, no, yeah, I'm scared.
And maybe
yeah.
a pain in your chest as well.
No, sorry. So it's good food. Just tries to make himself small, even though he's huge. Just gonna quietly eat my soup.
Give you some water.
Thank you.
Very gentle sort of
Yeah.
pat on your arm. I probably can't reach your back sat next to you. Just a little there.
I mean, Bram sort of like pulled himself into himself now, so it probably is down to about your height now. So
Lucian's actually the largest of the 3 orcs in the party, with Karnan being the smallest.
Oh.
I forgot Elodie is actually quite tall.
As you slowly just like rise up and you're like, there you go.
How tall is Hera?
6 something. I just have tall.
And I'm over here at 5'3". Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no,
okay.
so
I'm
small.
5'11".
Oh.
I've been imagining, like, I've been picturing looking up at you this whole time. I'm looking like I'm craning my neck to look down at you.
It's vibes. It's just vibes.
I've got the personality of a bigger person. It's all right.
Yeah.
5'11" to 5'3" isn't that much of a height difference. You don't have to go like this to them.
And yeah.
I mean,
I'm
it's
sorry,
still-
5'11" to 5'3" is a big difference.
We've established that the average height is 6 foot, right?
no, it's not.
I know it's not. I just said that to wind you up.
Josh.
Oh dear. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying
I'm gonna
something.
see whether the 6 foot includes the horns or doesn't.
That's probably why you just put tall.
Yeah.
You said Kimdak, and then I had a little tiny.
And then you had a
little
coffee
bit of
fit. Yeah, that
breakdown.
completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that threw all the players off. That threw me off as well. So,
You've got to drop your law
Yeah.
in the first episode.
yes.
The law.
Is everything okay, Bram?
I don't rightly know, Mr. Solomon. You tell me.
Well, there's a lot that I need to tell you. Actually, sensitive situation. It is. Bram, and you do not know this, Bram, but Bram does have a bit of history with Kimdak and with the Reavers themselves. There was a run-in. There was a incident with some hostages. Bram was seriously injured and suffered a degree of memory loss. I don't know to what degree the memory loss actually is. That's part of the reason why I requested for you to come back here, Bram, was so that our healer could have a look at you. But yes, Kimdak was the cause of that.
Right. The Reavers.
And that was over a year ago.
Well, that does fit with the memory loss. Okay. Right. Well, carry on, Mr. Solomon. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract.
That's fine.
So, more jobs, board, teaming up to go and deal with the situation, avoiding the Reavers.
Yes. Please, yes. There is... Can you make sure the door is locked, please? Tally, I don't want anybody to come in for the minute. She's like, yep, okay. She walks over to the door and locks it. There is... I either know all of you personally, or you have been vouched for by various members of my family. Looks over towards Lilla, who is sat at the head of the table at the other end with her feet up, with a toothpick in her hand, picking at her teeth, and a big slab of chicken leg in the other. Or my family has vouched for you, so I believe I can trust all of you here. There are plans to take down at least the Reavers that are here. It is difficult to execute, as Kimdak's headquarters were here at one point, although he is no longer at that particular stronghold now. It is believed that he has climbed higher up into the mountains, into some ruins, which is where we believe what you are looking for is Perry. But we have not had any confirmation of that as of yet.
But we'll get confirmation soon.
I have
Right.
people out there getting confirmation at the
Okay.
moment. One of them is a trusted member of the guild. Some of you may know her as Greta. She is... Sorry, I'm sorry that you had to hear it this way, Bram, but yes, Greta is...
No, she wouldn't. That's not... Oh, I've lost a lot. Again, just as like, okay, it's kind of tuning out now. He's like, fine, okay, Greta's an adventurer now, brilliant. Just, all right.
But yes, if you could all, if you'd like to go to the job board, rest, eat, drink, do get to know each other and all that tonight. In the morning, please do have a look at the job board and see if there is anything there that you would like to take part in, and I will bid you all good night for now. I'm going to go to bed, I think. I love what you're doing with your tash there, Mike. And he begins to walk away and he goes, oh, wait. I said I'd answer any questions that you had. Does anybody have any questions for me before I go?
I mean, do you want to do it in front of the others, Mr. Solomon? I've got many questions.
That is completely up to you, Bram. You can come into my office with me now, or we could talk about it here. It's up to you. So depending on how open you want to be with everybody else.
I mean, they've watched me just choke on my food. I mean, if you want... I wasn't realising I was signing up to be a mercenary. I simply was looking for my my friend. But okay, she's adventurer now. When she back?
That was going to be my question too.
Yes, Greta is due back in 2 days.
Oh. Kind of looking at Elodie, right, and then takes a moment and go, because she's a healer, rather than going, do you also have an emotional attachment to this goat girl? I mean, if you... So, Kimdak.
Yes.
We're not talking... Did Kimdak kill me? Because that's what I'm getting. Was I here before?
Yes, you were.
Right.
I'm sorry, everybody. This is a bit of a touchy situation for a lot of people in the town. I've known Bram since he was a child. I was an adventurer with his parents. He lost his father at quite a young age, and your mother is currently traveling around doing the Justice Bringer's will, as it were. You had come to Merkstead originally on my behest to join the mercenary company originally, and Greta and her mother were here, and on the night that you arrived here, the Reavers attacked. The Reavers weren't as bold as what they... Sorry, the Reavers were bolder than what they are now, and attacked more. With the protection money would be paid, but some of the bandits would attack still. They took a lot of the villagers in the town and took them up to the fortification, and one of them was Greta. Bram, along with some of the other mercenaries that were here at the time, went up into the mountains to try and retrieve them. Greta was saved. Unfortunately, Bram, yes, you were stabbed and were believed killed. You were thrown off the edge of the cliff, so I have no idea if you actually did die or not. And a lot of the hostages that were taken were also killed.
Did the others not try and get them out then?
No. After they saw what happened to you, they fled with who they had. Greta was one of them, but we lost 15 townsfolk that day.
Gods.
And that is one of the reasons why we, before the town guard and whatever mercenaries were in town, would have little scuffles with the Reavers, every now and then, and kick them out of the taverns and stop them from taking what they wanted from the stalls and the shops and stuff. But since that night, since your disappearance, the mayor of the town has ordered that we have no interactions with them at all. And it pains me to say it, we sort of let them run riot in the streets, as it were, just to avoid something like that happening again.
Well, that answers that question then, doesn't it? Thank you, Mr. Solomon.
Yes, I'm sorry you had to find out that way, Bram, but it's sort of what happened to you sort of connects with everything that these people need to know as being part of the mercenary company. But yes, anyway, if there are any other questions that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to. Although, for the moment, we've run over a little bit, but we are going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. So please do come back as we learn a bit more about our characters. They get to roleplay a bit more, which is what I'm really enjoying watching at the minute. And then, see what happens at the end of the session. See you in a bit. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. We have had our short rest, refilled our drinks and all of that shenanigans, and we are going to dive straight back into the second part of the first episode of the Chronicles of Aeodrun Awakening campaign. Say that 3 times fast. I'm not going to. In the first half, we re-met all of our characters, all of our players. They all came together in various comedic fashions and went and obtained a Bram from a ship. They have since come back to the mercenary company, have been fed a rather large feast. There was maybe a bit of fighting over the large boar that was on the table, and have been given a bit of a rundown on the situation in Merkstead by Solomon, who is the head of the mercenary company. We go back in as Solomon had just finished saying what had happened to Bram, and had just asked if anybody else had any other questions. And I believe Elodie had some questions.
Yes, Elodie, who has throughout the entire meal been pretty much silent and just sort of very quietly and delicately, politely eating just what she can reach, rather than trying to reach across the table. It's literally just whatever is close, she'll just take that. So to not impose herself on anyone. Yes, actually, just a couple of questions about the Reavers, you said that they attacked everyone a year ago. Were they being paid off by the town at that time?
Yes, there was the protection money, as young Karnan there said, has been paid off for. We've been paying. The town has been paying it. Sorry, has been paying it for the past few years now. But every now and then the bandits would still attack either us or other settlements around.
So we ought not to trust them, even though they're being paid to not attack. Okay. And the other question is, for those of us who have not been around, how do we know who is a Reaver?
Reavers are ghastly looking, not very well kept. They smell quite bad, as if they've not washed frequently. The most defining feature of them is that they all wear a very dark tan leather armor, and most of them wear some form of red ribbon that is either tied around their arm or around their head or around their neck in some cases, or around their legs or something. They have a red ribbon that has a black, almost like a fork shape sewn into the frilly bit.
Thank you, that's useful.
I have a
She'll just
question.
basically try and do the equivalent of like fading into the background and going back to eating.
Just quickly, because Elodie's sitting next to Bram. Bram has pushed his plate towards her because he's not eating anymore. But it's just like, you know.
Oh, no, thank
No,
you.
no. I'm.
Oh,
it's
no.
fine. No.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm
Puts it in between the two of them as a compromise.
Lilla just leans over, grabs the plate, and pulls it over to herself and goes, I mean, if it's not letting it go to waste, and just starts tucking in.
Well, that is a resolution, yeah. Just sits back and like, well.
I have a question.
Yes, Perry?
Perry is sat on her chair incorrectly, the note should reflect, kind of perched on the back with her feet on the seat, and is eating some spicy meat from a skewer, and kind of waves it as they speak, saying, so I think it's probably prudent for everybody to know that the Reavers did break in here a little while ago and steal some personal property. I would like to know what extra security measures have been put in place to protect all of these lovely new people who I'm sure wouldn't want their property stolen.
For the mercenary company itself?
The building.
Oh, the building, yes. Well, since the break-in that you know about, Perry, for those of you who don't know, the Reavers had broken in, stolen some items of importance to us not that long ago. The security measures that we have in place is we have a couple of extra locks. There is a couple of magical seals around my office that protect it from unwanted visitors, more so notifying me that they're there than actually doing any harm to them. Also, I met with one of the lieutenants of the Reavers, and we have... Basically, I'm paying protection money for the company to not be attacked. So they're basically getting two lots of money from the town. One from me and one from the mayor.
And would you say that they're trustworthy when they're paid off?
Apparently not.
No, Elodie is right. Since the attack where they took the hostages and Bram was injured, they've not attacked since then. So they could change their minds and choose to ransack us at any point if they so choose to. This is why it is of utmost importance that we don't upset them or anger them in any sort of way.
Bit of a shit show, isn't it?
Yes.
Speaking of thieves, would you excuse me for just a moment?
Yeah. Yes. Sure.
Lucian stands up and go and walk out to the front entrance and walk sort of down the side slightly. Are these buildings sort of made out of wood, brick?
A combination of wood and brick. More, this particular building itself is more wood than brick, but it's got like the brick foundations, and then it's built of wood the rest of the way.
And then I would like to need to double check something quickly. Sorry.
That's right.
I'd like to go and find a bit of like rock or something that's sort of sharpish, and then scrape into a bit of wood a S, a number that correlates to the room that Khan and I are in, and then like midnight in it, but I'd like it to be in some sort of, not thieves' cant, because I'd assume that would be what the Reavers would communicate in. So maybe some sort of private agreed upon with someone I know that would sort of indicate what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I'd say with the amount of time that you'd spent with said person, you would have developed a form of thieves' cant that is sort of like a coded version of the coded language. So you are able to do that, and you can easily enough. So you can put that anywhere you want.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll come back in and just sort of sniff and sit back down again, and I'll have lit a cigarette, smoked it, put it out, and then come back smelling as smoke, make to sort of hint at what I was up to, or just make it sound like I've just gone for a smoke.
Yeah. For everybody else, that's what you assume Lucian's gone and done.
So
I'm going to insight.
a private word when you're free.
With me?
Yes, please.
Yes, no, that's fine. Sorry, Carlin, what did you say?
Oh, Sean said he's inciting Lucian.
Yes, you can incite Lucian if you'd like to.
I did, 21.
21. Ooh.
I don't actually think I can.
I don't think I can deceive that high.
No.
Natural 20 is a natural 20, though.
Still no. 12.
I'm not gonna call you out on it outright, but clocking.
I was up to something else. Yeah, like super obvious.
Wasn't super obvious, but there was something else. Right. Just before I go, any final questions? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to head into my chambers now.
Oh, I have one question.
Yes?
What's your favorite color?
Grey.
You should rethink that answer.
I mean, gestures to his very grey hair.
Yes, but the grey isn't a choice. It's more of a biological conclusion of life.
Oh, okay. Platinum.
Acceptable. That's my question.
He's stood next to you, but he stood like almost in between you, Bram, and Elodie. Just leans into Elodie and goes, "It's a form of grey. I suppose I get away with that." And he begins hobbling off. If anybody would like to talk to me privately, please come and knock on the door. And he disappears.
I'm just going to go.
Anybody with a passive perception of 12 or higher will notice that Solomon did not eat or drink anything at all. And goes into his office, and Hera follows in behind. Before we would you like the door to be shut, Hera?
Yes, please.
Yep, so the door is shut. Before we go into that conversation, is there anything that anybody else would like to discuss beforehand with anybody?
We'll want to grab Tali at some point to have a chat with her, but again, in private.
Okay.
Funnily enough, Udric's also been trying to vie for some of Tali's time, but has so far unsuccessfully been able to broach the subject, and is also somewhat private.
I assume I'm staying here. I haven't been told of.
Oh, Tally comes over to you. Oh yes, Bram. We've got your old room set up for you. It's all good and ready to go. There's the key for you. I'd like the key back when you leave, please.
All right.
But it's all ready. It's almost exactly how you left it.
Blink, blink, blink. Right. Okay. Thank you. Is this place open 24/7?
Yes, it'll be open 24/7. If I'm not at the table, if I'm not at the reception desk at all, then please do feel free to ring the bell. Either myself or Alila will come and see to your needs.
Right, because
the other staff have gone home at this point. So.
Oh, okay. I've got someone I need to go talk to in town, but I'll make sure not to burn the midnight.
Is it anybody in particular?
Well, it's the captain who brought me in. We were.
Oh, okay. Yes, right. Okay, yes. It was just. I'm not sure how bad your injury is. I didn't know if you'd already forgotten that Greta isn't here.
No,
I just wanted to clarify.
Is her mother still here?
No. Mary. Josh needs to double check that the name is Mary because I looked at it earlier and it was.
It could have changed the last 20 minutes.
It is. Mary unfortunately passed away.
Oh. Oh, okay.
It was 12 months, 7 days ago. Of illness, not of anything malicious or anything. She got really ill and there was just nothing that could be done. I think it was just Greta always said that it was her broken heart caught up with her after the death of her husband.
I was there when I also lost. Good. I won't mention that to Greta when she takes the key. Thank you. I go up to my room.
Okay, so you go up to your room. As you go up to your room, Tally, places her arm on Elodie. I'm about whenever you want to speak to me. Just come. My room is upstairs and to the left. You all would know that when you go up the stairs and turn left, there's only one room there, or one door there. So that's Tally's room. Whenever you want to come up, just come up to the room.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Is now a good time, or I can wait if you've got other things you need to do. Sorry, I can wait.
No, that's fine. It'd be better if you wanted it to be in private. It'd be better to come up once everybody else has gone to bed. That's when I'll go up. I like to make sure everybody's in bed before I go to sleep. Especially that little one, and points over to the desk, and you see a hand reach over and grab another bit of food off of the plate and come back down again. Although Hera is here, it's still nice to know that everybody's asleep. She looks at Hera and gives you a wink.
Hera's in the other room, I think.
Hera's in the office.
He looks towards the door and winks. And then goes, that was silly of me to do that.
We've spent too much time together over the past how long?
Yeah, she's very fond of Sunny. And she goes to walk away and sits at the desk. If anybody else, just before we go over to Hera, anybody else have anything else?
I think Elodie's going to try and start clearing the table and trying to figure out where the kitchen might be to wash stuff up.
You go to start clearing the table, and both Sunny and Tally come back over. Tally gives a good proper whack to Lila's boots and causes her legs to fall off. Get off your ass and give me a hand, will you? Sorry, get off your bottom and give me a hand, please, realising that Sunny is right there. Come on, help me clear the table. And Sunny's like, yeah, okay. Sunny walks over to where Hera's table, where Hera was sat, and begins taking all the bits off. And I've got my mummy stuff. I'm going to go take that into the kitchen. Oh, I wonder if I can get an extra piece of cake, and disappears into the kitchen. And you just hear a loud, booming voice go, "Oh, oh, oh, little Sunny, it's good to see you. Would you like some?" And then Tally goes running and goes, "No, don't give me the cake."
we'll just watch all of that with entertainment. I think Elodie was literally about to say to Sunny, "Could you show me where the kitchen is?" With a stack of, but Sunny's already just gone, and she's like, "Okay, we'll just follow."
I'd say with that, she would turn to you. She'd hear you say that, turn to you, and go, "This way, Edie," and goes into the
Elodie.
kitchen.
Okay.
You go into there and you see the cook. The cook is a 6.5, 7 foot tall orc with large mutton chop type mustache thing going on, bald head, big muscly arms, scars all over the place, really itty bitty little what are they called? Apron. Little
I thought you were
tiny
going to say legs then. So really
legs.
stacked. Itty bitty
Cook
legs.
skips leg day.
Yeah, he skipped leg day a lot. But yeah, you can see that he is actually missing part of one of his legs. Not like the entire leg, but it looks like he's had like a chunk ripped out of one of his legs, and he's got some like metal work and stuff worked into his calf and all of that sort of stuff, and he walks with a bit of a limp. But he's big and brutish, and as you walk in and he sees you, he goes, "Thank you, new person. I shall take that. Would you like some cake?" And he puts it all down into a sink.
Oh, what kind of cake?
I have red velvet, chocolate, and vanilla.
3 different types of cake.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no, it's one cake. It's just that's the flavors.
Oh my goodness. Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. He watches. He pulls this curtain back, and there's this massive cake. It's like a single tier of all 3 flavors, and he gets this big cleaver out. It's like an actual weapon, and he cuts into it on both sides, cuts you a door wedge, puts it onto a plate that's too small for it, and hands it to you. Now, don't give anyone to the little miss. I've been told she's not allowed any.
Noted. Wouldn't
Yes.
dream of it.
Good. Would you like some extra cream?
Oh, no, I think this is probably going to last me about 3 days. Thank you, though.
Only 3 days? Oh, you must have a big appetite.
I'm Elodie, by the way.
Elodie. It's nice to meet you. My name is Rodney.
Rodney.
Yes.
Your food is delicious. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you like it. There were only 2 things I was ever good at in life. One of them was fighting, and the other one was cooking. I can't fight anymore, so I cook.
Oh. Well, if you are as good a fighter as you are a cook, then I imagine you would have been rather fearsome.
Well, actually, a lot of people said I wasn't very good at fighting, so it's probably a good thing I'm a better cook.
And she'll sort of, I think, she looks very curious about the contraption replacing his leg. Not in a like, oh my goodness, he's got a mysterious wooden leg, but in a that looks really cool. How does it? I want to get in there, and how does it work? But we'll just sort of politely sort of nod and scurry away.
What do you like?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to stare.
No, it's perfectly fine. Not many people like to look at it. The little one, I mean, the really little, not the child, the other little one, the really angry little one with the big thing, doesn't pay any attention
Harry.
to me. Yes, doesn't pay any attention to me. So it's nice to have someone who likes to talk to me. Kira talks to me every now and then, but it's normally telling me off for giving Sunny sweeties.
Oh. Well, I can come and talk to you then.
Yes, and I can show you how this works. It's really cool.
All right. I think actually she'll pop the cake on the side and then go and grab some more stuff to clear up, and she'll come and hang out in the kitchen and help out with the cleaning up. And
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, could you help with it? And he leads you to the sink area, and all the cups and plates and cutlery and all of that's inside of it. And you can see that there is this really long hose thing that's attached to a water source, and he begins spraying it down. He shows you how it works and stuff. Is if you could spray this for me, I can go and where's that? Oh, I need to go clear something up in the pantry area.
certainly. And she'll take her coat off, roll the sleeves up, and crack on.
And as he opens the door, you can hear like a whirling noise, and then you get like a blast of cold air come at you as he's opened the room to a magical chiller, and he disappears inside. And as you continue helping him inside, we seem to be dwindling on numbers in the main eating area. I think we've only got Perry, Carnan, and Lucian there now. With Bram having taken himself off the bed, Hera looking to talk to Solomon.
Bram's not going to bed. Bram's going to the pub.
You're going to the
found his
pub? That's
room.
what you said. Sorry, I thought you said upstairs.
No, because you said there's your room, which I don't think Bram actually ever spent a night here. He spent a night somewhere else. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, just to see where his room is, and then we'll probably also because no one pointed it out to him. They were just like, "Your room is where your room is," and he's like, "I don't know where that is."
You would have had a room set up for you because of your family connection with Solomon. You would have had a room set up for you, whether you stayed there or not.
I'm also saying that no one told me this time. So in the background, we just see Bram walking up and down the balcony trying the key.
Which one is it? Yeah. Okay, so you're going to the pub.
Going to the pub.
Yeah. Okay, so you go to the pub on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
It's funny, I've got a question regarding that. I look at the two left at the table. Are you supposed to be supervising him?
Supervising who?
Bram.
As Bram cracks his knuckles as he goes down the stairs.
Nah, I think he's fine. Just doing scarf things, you know?
Didn't mention anything like a babysitting mission as your first port of call.
No, but we literally had to go collect him and bring him here.
He said he was going to pub, right?
I understand.
I mean, anybody can go to a pub. Doesn't have to be supervising.
True.
Pub.
You
You in?
kids are welcome to go to the pub if you want to. I'm going to stay here and play ball basket. You're welcome to join me later when you've had a few, but, you know, have a good time babysitting the big boy.
I wouldn't send you to a pint, and I've got a feeling one of my friends that you'd get along with, Carnan, will most likely be there.
All right. Let's scope out this rusty pirate then.
Shall we go separately to not, dull his blade, as they'd say?
Oh yeah, separately to Bram. Seems like he's got his own thing going on.
After you. See you at some point. How do you say your name?
Parabatea. You can
Parabatea.
call me Perry, it's fine. The syllables are a bit much for some people.
Yeah. It didn't, roll off my tongue from where I'm from.
Where are you from?
The north.
Ew. Well, you have fun at the pub. I guess, I'm Billy No Mates for the evening. That's fine. I'm too much for people to handle sometimes. And, that's on them.
Good for you.
I know. I walk out.
With Perry walking out and Lucian and Carnan heading down to the pub, not following Bram, but following Bram, we go into the office of Solomon. As Solomon walks over to his chair and sits down, Hera, you close the door behind and you're free to talk to Solomon. Everything okay here? I understood you wanted to ask me a few questions.
A couple. Is everything okay with you since I've been gone?
Knees have been playing me up a little bit. Got one of these whooping cough things going around the town at the moment. I seem to have caught that, but other than that, just tired. I'm old. What about you?
People broke into this place and my child is here.
Yes.
You can understand why I think protection money isn't enough.
No, I fully expected to have this conversation with you at some point, yes.
What the absolute fuck, Solomon?
Solomon is not smiling. Josh is. I can assure you that the break-in itself was many, many, many months ago now. It was before Perry actually got here. I don't actually believe Sunny was here at that point. I believe Sunny was having a sleepover at Greta's at that point with Tally, but no, I do understand your concerns, and that is one of the reasons why I have gone to such extremes with the security measures, other than just paying the Reavers. That's why there's magical enchantments around and extra locks on the doors and things, and why I sped the recruitment process along, as it were, with getting the people that we now have here.
I said it before when it happened, and I'm saying it again. You can't just... Everyone deserves a chance to be better than they are, but these people keep proving to not be better than they are.
I fully understand what you're saying. I know God knows I've given them chances over the years, many chances over the years. But Kimdak is not one to be reasoned with. And the safety of the town has to be put above all else. The town has hardly recovered since the Undead took it over, or ran over it, should I say. With the increasing threat of drowners coming onto the shores, with wildlife increasing, they're being pushed from the mountains and they're attacking the farms and the town, the farms and the fishing holes around here. This is why I'm so glad that I have now got all of you as more permanent residents. As mighty as you are, Hera, you are but one person. Even with Perry here, getting the two of you to work together on your own would have been impossible, but now that there are other members here to help cushion the divide between the two of you, I'm hoping that we can start seeing some real change. That is my hope. And before the old raven comes and claims my soul, I'd like to at least set up some sort of a freedom for this town, if I can.
Yes. I mean, you helped me, so I will be returning the favor. And Perry's not bad, she's just more impulse than control.
Perry's a delight.
She reminds me of people who were not so great, and it is hard to deal with in different forms. I'll get over it.
I do have a piece of news for you.
Yes.
That I felt that I should share. And it is a good thing that you came to me separate, because it's sensitive for you. There have been words, rumors, not 100% confirmed yet. I have a few scouts out there looking into it a bit further. But there have been whispers of the Imperium operating in the south, which is, as you know, unheard of. Their plan is for the north. Whatever it is, whatever invasion it is they're looking to do is in the north. They have no reason to attack down here. There's nothing for them here. We're a wasteland since the Rising. Just be wary.
Yes.
I don't know your full history with them, but it could be that they're looking for you.
Most definitely are.
Another reason why there are extra protections on this base.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself if something happened to Sunny. It's like having another granddaughter.
And she regards you fondly. I know that if the worst comes to the worst and I have to leave her behind, that she'll be good with you. Anyway, tell me about these new people. What do they do? How can I use them? And I'm happy for that to be a fade to black conversation.
And he goes, and then begins to go into things.
Logistics.
No, I want to hear what Solomon says about us all.
As we come out of that situation, we come to... Actually, before we go to the three lads going to the pub...
That's orcs on tour.
Orcs. We sort of left Perry in a bit of a situation. We didn't quite know where Perry was going or what Perry was
basket. Doing. It's great.
That's such a dangerous sentence. We left Perry on her
own. So in the previous one-to-one, you said there was like a training ground here, right?
Like a fighting pit, yeah.
Like a fighting pit. I head there.
Okay. So it's definitely dark now. The fighting pit itself is in the area... Actually, no, the fighting pit area is near the Church of Balance. You have to go up you have to go down the slope from the mercenary company, cross 2 streets, 3 streets if you include the rather large alleyway that has a couple of stalls down it, and then up the large slope that leads to the Temple of Balance and to the graveyard area. The fighting pit is not where the graveyard is, it's on the other side. And you can see as you walk around the church, there is a almost like circus-like tent that's been put up. And inside it, you can hear the sounds of skin on skin, like things, when you hear like meat being pounded, you hear like, people punching, and that sounds so wrong. Why did I say it like that?
Why, Josh?
You can hear fighting happening in there. I don't need to go into descriptive with that. You hear fighting and cheering. And as you walk into the tent, you can see there is probably about 50 people in here. There's a couple of people that you recognize from the ship. A couple of the crew members are waving gold around, and there's a man walking around, a human man, quite dark skin. He's got one of those, like the popcorn things that you see in theaters and stuff. He's got one of those, but he's gathering gold from people, and he's writing things down on a little notepad that's attached to it and sticking up on an arm, and he's writing like bets and things down, and you can see that there's fighting happening in the pits. 2 fights at once, 2 separate crowds. Yeah.
Is there like a private area?
You can see just over where all of this fighting is happening, there is a tunnel that leads into another area, and you can go through to there if you want to.
Yeah, I do.
Say you'd been here a couple of times, so you know.
Yes. So is it kind of just like a practice room?
Yeah.
Kind of area.
Yeah, set up like a practice area. This is the area where the fighters sort of prepare themselves, and then they do their big entrances and come out into the arena, as it were. It's almost set up almost wrestling style, but you walk out into the back room. You can see there's a couple of fighters who are either preparing to fight or who have fought and are currently cleaning up their injuries. But there's a couple of those like test dummies around them. You can see, that these test dummies are from Solomon's place, because he did have a testing ground until recently. He had to sell off some of the parts for it, and the fighting pit bought them. So you can stand here and train a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, so what happens is that Perry initially takes a ball and a net that she stashed somewhere and kind of half-heartedly puts it up, knocks it down, goes to a training dummy and just says, "Stand back, boys, I'm just gonna work some stuff out." Starts hitting it just routinely, and as it goes, they kind of go into a sort of trance. Their eyes flood with black, making the gold stand out even more, and they just bellow with rage as they enter rage, and lay into this dummy. After a while, when they're a bit tired, the black bleeds out in black tears, and Perry just says quite quietly, "Why won't people like me? Why can't I do this? I'm coming for the puppetry."
It is my crown, and I wear it on my thorny brow.
As you're in your trance, as I said, you've been here a number of different times, so you know that there is a particular test dummy that is best for you to go at because it is not made out of just wood. There are other materials and metals and stone and everything in there. It's proper heavy duty. This is the sort of thing that you would test heavy weapons against, and it would survive. This thing has been beaten the shit out of, and you know that you are the only person that uses it. It's got punch marks and dent marks and scythe marks. It looks like it's been stitched back together in places, and as your eyes flood with this black darkness and you go into your rage, every strike begins to slow down for you, and as that strike connects with the dummy, you get a brief flash of a memory, but it's so quick that it doesn't quite register what it is. But each strike makes that memory longer, and you keep striking and striking, and you just picture this almost translucent bridge leading out into a complete dark void. This spectral green river seems to be flowing underneath it, and a large figure stood in an archway with a large raven atop the archway. That's the final thing you have as you do your final strike against it, and the tears begin to pour out.
Never get anything new. I look for comfort with Gwen. Is she still hanging out?
The image of Gwen, you've not heard much from her recently. She's been rather quiet. She only really comes up when something like this happens. And as those tears flood out, you just feel almost like a warm embrace around you, and something just pull you in tightly. No words are spoken, but that feeling washes over you like a heat wave. And then everything feels cold again.
Thanks, Gwen. Let's go home. I slowly start walking back. It's probably been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I think at that point, we will move over to the orcs going for a drink. Bram, you walk down the street first, and it's quite quiet. There are a few people milling around. The lights are on in a few of the homes and a few of the shops and stuff as the shops are shutting up. The stalls have all been closed, and the farmers and workers who work the stalls have long left. You can hear the bells of the ship that you came on, the Golden Maiden, chiming in the wind as it's slowly being rocked in the docks as you approach where the rusty pirate is. You can see standing outside there's a couple of locals. Some of them look like they might be miners, others woodcutters, maybe even a few fishermen. You can tell they're fishermen because of the smell. But you open the door and enter inside, and it is a very warm and homely feeling that sort of brushes over you. The Rusty Pirate is although the name doesn't suggest it, it is a very warm and almost comfortable place to visit. Along the left and right hand sides of this room are stalls that lots of people are sitting in. There's tables and chairs all up in the middle, and to the far left as you've walked in there is a stage with a small band playing. On the right hand side you can see there's a doorway that leads out towards the kitchen area, and you can see that there are waiters and waitresses opening and closing the doors. You can see there's people milling around in there cooking food, and lots of food is being handed out. As you enter in, you hear a voice say, Bram, there you are. Come over here. I've got you a couple of drinks. And you look over and you can see the captain and beckoning over to you to come over to him.
As I'm walking over, band on the stage, is anyone playing stringed instruments?
There is somebody playing the... What's the one?
Banjo?
What's the banjo, that's the one. I was trying to think of it.
Oh, the bing.
One of them playing the banjo. There's one who is playing one of the brass instruments. I'm going to say saxophone because I like saxophone. And there's another one who's got one of those sort of war drums. This is a very eclectic band.
I was going to say a banjo and a saxophone is a combo you don't get very often.
It's like the Lumineers. Yeah, just got everyone. Bram has a moment looking at what was his shattered left hand, where he hasn't been able to play music in a while, and he's learning a lot more about probably why. His father's lute he also assumed was lost in the sea, but maybe it's here somewhere. Maybe Greta's got it. What mysteries Bram is learning tonight. He's going to go have a drink with the captain.
Yep, so you sit down with the captain. He's got you 2 ales and 4 shots. Come on, you need to catch up.
All right. Okay.
Come on.
Shots.
Yeah. You drink all 4 shots as 2 other people, 2 other crew members come over and go, "Hey, those were our shots." And the captain just laughs and goes, "Gotcha."
I owe you. Next round on Bram. Wow.
Next round on Bram, lads. Come on, go get him in. And the 2 guys who just got back to the table go, "Oh, for God's sake," and turn around and go back to go get more drinks. I mean, you're sitting there for about 10-15 minutes able to have a conversation with the captain if you'd like to before the other 2 rock in.
I think I am letting the captain talk more than me, being a bit like, "So, sea stories. What the weird things have you seen recently?" And letting the captain, and also a little bit like going, "Have you spent much time in this town before?"
Oh yeah, no. This town's one of our local trade routes. We travel between here and Grimport quite a lot. It's very rare that we travel down south and circle around to the western side of the continent. But yes, our local trade route. We've got quite a lot of good work going between the 2, ferrying different supplies between north and south. It's good job. I mean, the drowner situation's getting a bit bad now, so it was good to have somebody like yourself on the crew and being able to take care of them. I mean, I can fight, but I've got to helm the ship, because if I don't helm the ship, we're going to crash into the shallows, and and he carries on talking like that non-stop without taking a breath.
Listening, paying attention, but not really. Also, recovering from 4 shots taken very quickly. I mean, big boy, but still, like,
Big boy didn't eat a lot.
Big boy didn't eat a lot. Also, keeping an eye out for any other, like, I don't know, maybe a flash of red, bit of black, maybe on the end of a ribbon, anything like that in here. Should I roll perception?
Roll me a perception check.
All I can say, it's very good that some other party members are coming to join me. 9.
9. You don't notice anything that you requested to notice, but what you do notice is 2 other orcly people walk in to the tavern as both Lucian and Karnan both walk in as well.
I don't know if I make eye contact. Some intense, and again, freaky eyes looking at them, and then turn back to the captain. So yeah, no squalls. Well, that does sound bad. Yeah.
And Captain carries on going as Karnan and Lucian. You walk in, you can instantly see Bram sitting at one of the side stool table areas.
What are you drinking?
Ale.
Just ale. It's a school night.
That was to Lucian. I assumed that I wasn't within earshot of Bram.
Okay, retroactively, because I thought they just wanted me like, "What are you drinking? Why are you out of bed?" It is no, yeah. So Bram,
to be fair,
like,
Bram wouldn't be able to hear you anyway over the captain consistently talking at you.
Sorry. Go on.
Two ales then. I assume they'll get their drinks and probably have a bit of silence, as is wont in their relationship, before before Udric will eventually kind of go, so, you must get through quite a few of them cigarettes. Going out, not smoking it.
Well, it depends if I'm making sure I've got a good lie.
None of my beeswax, but I feel like with everything that's going on in this town, we need to find some trust in someone, you know?
No, and to be fair, I briefly sort of gave you a hint to it as soon as we've been placed together, you'd see them because she's not particularly subtle when she wants to fuck with people. That was a signal.
So just hang a necktie on the door and I'll leave you to it. Don't worry.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's not like that.
Sorry, I've been out of the world.
She's way too abrasive. Just annoying. She's got her finger on the pulse of everything that's not legal. And well, if we want information at real time, she'll probably already know or be able to find out. But I'd prefer if she's kept tap on the nose, quiet. The less people, the less chances, blah, blah, blah.
Of course. That's why I didn't bring it up earlier.
No, and well, I'm not smart enough to lie cleverly, and I don't try to. It's way too complicated, and to be honest, it's for no moral reason. I'm just too lazy to lie. So you'll get a simple attempt, and if you call me out on it, then well, that's as far as it'll go.
No, I think, you're allowed to have your secrets. But just, you give us a heads up if you find out anything that's going to be pertinent to the rest of us.
That's the plan. We're on the same page that whatever the fuck Solomon's doing is not sustainable, correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's
No
all I
point in
need you to
paying
know.
money for a service you're not getting.
No. Especially when they're as fickle as it comes. They'll get their comeuppance, though. We should probably... and he kind of looks around the room to check if there's anything like anybody staring out Bram, anything like that. He'll just sort of do the subtle over Kanan's shoulder glance.
Make a
Probably do a
perception check.
similar thing.
Yeah, both of you can make perception checks.
30-20.
16.
So both of you rolled high enough. There isn't anybody in here at the minute that is paying any attention to either of you or to Bram. You do hear a bit of a ruckus come from outside as the doors open out and 3 figures walk in. One of them is dressed in what could only be described as a woodcutter gear or wood. What are they called? The wood.
Lumberjack.
Yeah, lumberjack. There we go. Thank you. Like lumberjack type gear. And on either side, he looks very distressed. And either side of him are 2 figures. One is a slightly shorter human at around 5'5", which is average size human at around 5'5". Looking at that. Average size human at around 5'5", and a much larger elven figure, a lot more slender than the human. They are wearing the exact description armor and armband or headband that Solomon described to you as two reavers walk in with this lumberjack going, "Way, yeah, come on, right, oh, look, it's the Dusty Pirate. What a shithole! Right, let's have a bit of a drink, lads. And they walk over. One of them isn't a lad. They walk over to the bar and they start jeering and jibbing towards the patrons, not the patrons, the hosts. We need your finest bottle of wine, his finest bottle of whiskey. Stick it all on the Reaver's tab, yeah. And they start drinking, so smashing glasses and all of that sort of stuff. The staff sort of disappear behind the bar. Food service seems to stop, and you notice there's a lot of the patrons sort of get out and leave.
I'd look to Khan and go, I think that's our cue to pick Bram up and leave.
I was thinking the same thing.
Podcast listeners, Bram has put his hat back on, cracked his knuckles, and is adjusting the mace at his side.
Can we do that like classic, like I pick one arm up, you pick the other, we lift him up and walk straight out the door.
It's slightly lopsided because I'm shorter than both of you, but...
Again, Bram like ramrod straight and glaring as he's been carried out. Yeah. No, I don't think he resists it because he's like, back of his brain, he's like, smart idea. Don't get yourself killed again, Shadow Oak. But it's like, your lad's having a nice time?
Oh, he was.
That's the way it goes, you know. Thank you. I was about to do something stupid.
As the three of you walk out and the doors go to shut, you watch as the taller elven figure strikes one of the male owner of the tavern and knocks them to the floor, and then dives over the bar and begins taking loads of drinks, and the doors shut. I've got to set them up as arseholes.
Not our circus, not our monkeys.
It was my circus. It was my...
No, yeah.
There'll come a time.
And looking up, both eyes now full black, and then just shakes them off. Like, no, our monkey's not a circus.
As you sort of blink and try and shift away the extra like, blackness to your eyes, you see something following you. Something on 4 legs, black and white, with the same sort of eye colour as you, but flipped around, with 2 fox-like tails. A fox just trotting along, just looks at you and goes, No, not yet, Bram, not yet. Your time will come.
You're not my mum. Bram says audibly. Did you say the fox was black and white, like a cat?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It's black and white.
Or a
yeah.
panda.
It's a panda cat.
You say you're not my mum.
Yeah.
And if both Karnan and Lucian were to turn around, you would see coming down the slope to meet you is Perry.
Oh, no.
So it looks like Bram has said that to Perry.
Yeah.
because you can't see the fox.
Do I hear it?
I mean, Bram wasn't yelling it, but how good's your audible perception?
Pretty good.
You probably heard him grunting, "You're not my mum."
As I go to stalk past, I say, "Good thing too. Look at the state of you." Walking past.
I look at him. I like her.
Well, she's pretty funny, isn't she? Perry hears that.
Huh? I'm funny?
You turn around. You hadn't noticed it before, but you turn around and you can see a fox on the floor.
What's with the talking fox?
Oh, you see her too. So undo myself from the other. Wait, you can see the fox.
Yeah, the fox that.
Yeah, the talking fox.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 eyes and ears.
What are you talking about?
They
fox.
can't see. Hawthorne.
Wait, they can't.
No.
The fox looks at both of you and goes, hee, and then just fades away like the Cheshire Cat.
Oh, you son of a... Right, we definitely need to have a bigger conversation. We've got a lot to talk about. Probably not now. Yeah,
In the morning.
Well, all right. Okay. Sven, right. Okay. So we didn't start a fight. It's good. I'm good. I'm behaving. I got all this to deal with. I've got my own room. Thank you, gents. Sorry for ruining your night. Perry, more to talk about. Right. Let's get.
Perry's gone.
Yeah. Goodbye, Perry.
Goodbye, Perry.
I turn back to her. I still like her. She's brash. I can appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to bed now. I haven't caused an incident.
So, you go to bed. Everybody goes to bed. Now, before we end the session, is there anything else that anybody would like to do?
I was just going to say that when Perry goes back to bed, I put the stack of the jelly bean cookies in a nice little box has been left by her bedroom door. Taken away from the children.
90%.
90%.
I take them and begin to scheme the next way to corrupt the children.
Elodie definitely would have snuck Sunny a little bit of cake.
Oh,
For sure.
That's fine. I've stuck you fruit.
But also I think so I would have gone once the washing up and the cleaning up had been finished. I would have wanted to go speak to Tali, but if you wanted to do that another session for time, we can. Josh?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to do, because I know Karnan's biting at the bit to talk to Tali as well. So I think maybe we'll leave it on that cliffhanger with you two going to talk to Tali at separate points.
In that case, if there's, do you want to go ahead?
I was going to say that kind of getting back from the pub, like Udric would have gone almost to knock and then didn't quite have the courage just yet, so it's actually just going to go straight to bed.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, if everyone's all right, we can do the Elodie and Tali thing quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I was going to say as well, the name of the chef, I did not write down quick enough. I was doing a role playing.
Rodney.
Brothers!
This time next year, Rodney.
I thought, was it not Brodney with like a B at the front, or is it just Rodney?
Rodney. Just Rodney.
Just Rodney. Okay. Would Rodney have been in the kitchen the entire time whilst Elodie was washing up?
In and out between sorting the washing up out, helping you with that, going in and out of the strange chiller room, and taking the rubbish out to the bins. So
Cool.
In and out.
Yeah, so I think there would have been like, I'm going to roll a performance check. Actually, no, she does pretty well. Yeah, in between him dipping out, I realized as well, when she went to offer washing up, she took her coat off, rolled her sleeves up, would have looked at her gloved left hand, and then taken the glove off, but made sure it was always underwater or like holding on to something, so it was always just a little bit masked. But or like grabbed a tea towel whenever he walked in, and then I think just little snatches in between him leaving the room and coming back again would have been talking to herself.
Yeah.
Little bits of like, no, it's fine, I think we can trust them. I don't think we're in a position to do that yet. No, I know they smell a bit funny, but it's going to be fine. I think we've just got to make the best of the situation, everyone, okay? Shh. And then we'll carry on. But then eventually we'll go to see Talia. Tali, not Talia. Hi, Talia.
Talia's back, and Talia's got the axe.
Used this whole campaign.
You knock on Tali's door and she opens it up. She's wearing she's got like a nightgown and dressing gown on, and she's got some like little reading glasses on. She goes, "Oh, hello, Elodie. How are you doing?"
Well, thank you. I think everyone has gone to bed, or at least staggered back from the pub and gone to their rooms. So I thought now might be a good time to chat.
Yes, please do come in. Right. She sets you in. Her room is quite large. She's got what looks to be a walk-in, what they called ensuite sort of area. So she's got her own little washroom and everything. Being the quartermaster gives you some perks, and she sits you down. Right. What was it you wanted me to look at in private?
Lila suggested, in the absence of Greta, you might be the person to talk to. I wanted to say again how grateful I am of your family's kindness towards me. Lila, in particular, has been a wonderful friend out of nowhere, where completely unexpected. So,
She takes
yes.
after her father.
We'll just sort of mentally clock who I've not seen around, and then we'll just carry on. So I don't suppose, have you ever seen anything like this before? And takes her glove off to reveal a branded glyph, a 7-pointed star symbol on the back of her hand.
Ooh. She puts your hand down on the table. There's a table there now. She puts your hand down on a table and looks over. Oh, dear, that looks like it hurts.
Actually, surprisingly not, but concerning in other ways. You've never seen anything like this before?
Not this particular symbol. I mean, I can certainly do some research on it. I mean, if you wanted to know what the symbol was, my father would be the best person to talk to about it. He's
less about the symbol itself. I know a little of that.
Okay.
More about the fact it won't come off.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, besides some really abrasive sort of skin removal surgery, there's not much I can do for you. I could, if it's burning or anything like that, I could put some elf root on it for you. But other than that, it's looking at it. It's a combination of, you're going to have to see Greta and our healer Carden. Go see a combination of those two. I reckon would help with that.
Would Carden know anything about magical healing as opposed to poultices?
Yes, poultices and all of that sort of stuff is Greta's bag. Carden deals more with magical healing.
And can Carden be trusted?
I've never had any issue. I've never had a reason to not trust him.
Okay, thank you. I'll pay him a visit. I don't suppose Lila told you much about how we met?
I've not had much time to speak to her in detail. I did ask about where she met you, and she said that she met you in one of the local towns, and you just happened to be in a little spot of bother, and she helped you out. That's what she told me.
She's a good friend.
She's a good girl.
I suppose, as you have been so kind to me, I ought to warn you just in case. I know there was mention of security of this building before. There may be other people following, trying to find me.
Okay.
I wouldn't know how to describe them, or I just wanted to let you know. If that's going to be a problem, then I can leave.
No, it's not going to be a problem. I will say that obviously the security of this place is of the utmost importance, so I will need to let my father know that so that he can increase any security that is needed here.
Absolutely.
In particular. I won't go into details. I believe that's a conversation that you should have with him.
I shall.
Yes, please, when able to, do speak to him about it so he knows what to look out for.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think with that, everybody going to sleep at their various different times, I think that is a good place to end it, with us coming out of the mercenary company and going into the hills and mountains of the surrounding area. We can see cloaked figures looking down on the town of Merkstead. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. If you have enjoyed what you have seen, you can catch us on Mondays and Tuesdays at 6 p.m. UK time for more Dungeons & Dragons, or at 6 p.m. on Fridays for other TTRPGs. All of our games you can find on YouTube or podcast. Just search Roll Together RPG. If you are watching us on YouTube, if you could please leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below so we can see what it is you like and what it is we should be doing a lot more of. Massive thank you to our Patreons on D20 Club. Our D20 Club on Patreon is what I should be saying. They are great. We love them. You can join them from as little as one of your local currency per month, or one goat, which must be sent to Tom. They have made us a fan Discord. They have made us a wiki page where you'll find all of this crazy nonsense going into that at some point or another. Massive thank you to our sponsors and supporters, and you can find us all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Now, before I sign off, does anybody have any last things to say?
Always stay classy at the table.
There we go. Bye.